Owning a home is the American dream. I love my job because I get to help people buy, sell, and improve that American dream. Follow me this week as we explore exciting new trends in Utah's real estate.
So I ran across some clients the other day, and they were asking what the benefit of buying versus renting.
Oh, there's huge benefits right now because interest rates are so good. They're almost at 0% from the federal government. Of course, there's the fees they added, so you're talking around 4%. But the really cool thing is when you own a properties become more valuable as they appreciate over time, and so you get that appreciation versus renting. You don't get the appreciation. That's appreciated for the actual landlord.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And you also get a tax write-off on the money they pay towards your interest, which is huge. You also become better. Your credit score actually increases because they figure you're part of the society, and if you're a homeowner, you've kind of reached that level, and so your credit score increases, which is really, really good, of course. And the big thing when it comes down to it, let's say you've got a $1,000 house payment and a $1,000 rent payment, exactly the same. But what happens over time? Let's say it's hard for you to make a $1,000 house payment today, but down the road, 15 years from now or 20 years down the road, that house payment's going to still be $1,000. My parents, when they never paid their house off early, their house, they live in like a, I don't know, really expensive house. Their house payment was $250. When they first got that house, $250 was everything. They could have kept their other house for like another, I don't know, $30 a month, but they couldn't afford to do it. And so that's how much. But now at the end of their loan, at the end of 30 years, $250 was nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a huge benefit, because if you can lock in, because we always have appreciation and inflation, and you can corner, and this is one of the really cool angles that you can actually take advantage of inflation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Well, and what I've seen, just in looking around, is it seems like the rental prices are huge right now.
It's actually cheaper right now to buy a house, plus you get all those other added benefits. You can get a nicer house by owning, and you get all those other cool things. And that's why our market's so hot right now, because the interest rates are so low, and it makes a ton of sense to own a property.
Well, and with my home right now, my husband and I talked about renting it out and moving something lesser, because we can get such good rental amounts.
That's right.
So have you seen other people doing that?
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of people buying up lots of properties right now. It's a great way. We all know those people that bought up a bunch of rentals and did that as their retirement. Okay, Rosalind, for this featured property this week on the show, we're headed up into Holiday. And so if you ever wanted to be close to everything but far enough away, you're up on the hill looking down on the whole valley, and this is your property. It's situated on its own private drive, so there's nobody ever going to walk by your home, but it's close enough that if you had a golf cart, you could roll right down there to Old Mill Golf Course and tee off. It's got access to this, and this property is absolutely exquisite. They furnished it in what they call the Mountain Contemporary design.
I love that design. It's very popular in Park City.
That's right. So they've brought this right down here. The original builder of this home was a stonemason, and he actually owned a stone quarry. So as you look through the property, it's completely decked it out. The type of stuff that he had access to, wood and stone, and he did not stop. It's just absolutely exquisite. They spent a ton of money building this home. Headed into this kitchen, they spared no expense. The granite countertops that they put in here, and the fridge, and it just absolutely beautiful, right?
I love the spacious feel and that stove. It looks professional grade. This is a chef's kitchen.
Yeah, and so that's a Wolf range, and the pantry looks like there's just 4 doors, but it's absolutely huge. It opens up all together and you just walk into it, and plenty of space for everything. All the detail work that they added in, all the stone and wood, it almost jumps off. They did just a spectacular job. You'll notice that each one of the windows is cased in wood. They spared no expense. Everything as I walked through this property, I was just amazed at how much they didn't miss anything. They spent so much money on building this home. The original owners intended on never selling this. Headed into the master bedroom, you'll notice the views off of the whole front of the house are to die for. In the size of the master bedroom, they're 10-foot ceilings, and there's plenty of room for a reading area. And look at those views, spectacular. They spared no expense. You'll notice on the fireplace, it's a look through into the master bath, but I almost want to call that the master salon because they just absolutely decked it out. I'm just absolutely amazed. You don't see these type of showers in houses of this size. This is the shower of a $5 million home.
It's gorgeous. Love the tile.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They really put it all together. You don't see this kind of attention to detail put into something under $1 million, and this is way under. Headed down into the basement, they've put a big, huge safe in there and plenty of room. The second kitchen in the basement is situated and sets up better than even most main kitchens. They've got a mother-in-law apartment and the bathroom in here is completely decked out in slate. Absolutely beautiful. There aren't a lot of master bedrooms in $5 million homes that are nice. You'll notice all the lighting underneath their countertops in there. Beautiful, right?
Beautiful, gorgeous.
Price per square foot, if you were trying to replace this home, this house is probably worth about $1.5 million, but they got it priced at about $839, which as you go outside, you'll notice it's got wraparound decks and it's got a built-in hot tub. It is just ready to go, and they plan on leaving that hot tub. So if you're looking something that's close but far away and you got views to watch the day go by, this could be your property.
They say on camera, I'm a little stiff, but I insisted that I be the one to tell you about the world's finest, safest garage door, the Martin Door, available at your nearest door, lumber, or hardware company. Tell them Dave Martin sent you. Now what's stiff about that?
Here at Real Estate Essentials, we love to support local business, and we love nothing more than local business that's had international success. And Martin Garage Doors is one of those. So the next time you're looking to buy garage doors, buy local, buy the best, buy Martin Garage Doors.
Northern Wasatch Board of Realtors supports Utah home values. Be sure to attend the Northern Wasatch Parade of Homes, June 27th through July 12th.
Amsco Windows was founded in Utah over 65 years ago. Our 535,000 square foot facility is one of the largest vinyl window plants in the country. We provide more windows in the state of Utah than all other manufacturers combined, and with Amsco, your design potential is limitless. At Amsco, we understand that quality, service, on-time delivery, and pleasing the customer are vital to our success. Amsco Windows, make your home a masterpiece.
It used to be that credit was used primarily to assess risk. and lower credit scores paid higher rates and with less favorable terms. These days, credit is used in a myriad of ways. Consider employment. Some employers consider low scores to mean less discipline and potential future disloyalty. That's why credit education is more important today than ever before.
There's a new building going up in Draper called the Rosegate Draper Community, and I know a lot of people are working real hard on that. Let's go take a look and see what they've been working on.
All right, so we're here in Draper at the Rosegate Apartments. These are actually built by Miller Development. And Trevor, who heads up all their exterior landscaping, gave me a call and gave me some plans and said, hey Brian, what can you do for these? So they actually had some custom glulam beams that were to help facilitate the round feel that they were going for. So I called some lumber companies and got some prices on those round beams, and they were pretty expensive. And I gave him some numbers, and he's like, these are much further above our budget than we had planned. So went back to the drawing board and we came up with a different idea, put some straight beams in there and then created a curve in the rafters up above, and it actually turned out pretty sharp and saved them a lot of money.
Hey Jay, this property really jumped out to me. I'm really interested in it.
Okay, so this one's a unique one. This is actually out in Bluebell. And so if you went past Strawberry and out to Starvation, this is just right out there. So it's about 2 hours outside of Salt Lake City, but this is a very, very unique property. It's a cabin property. It could be a primary residence, but it's got a setup which you don't see in the state of Utah. You can have your own dock on this because you actually own the shoreline.
Wait, so why is this unique in the state of Utah?
Because the state of Utah went through and bought up all the shoreline, and so the state owns all property that's land and water, touching each other. They want to own all that. This particular property, they had changed the water and the way it flowed, and so it filled up and got onto his property, and so now he has shoreline property.
Interesting.
Which is very, very unique.
Yeah, true shoreline property.
Yeah, true shoreline property, and so it's all situated, and so this is perfectly set up for somebody. A very unique thing. You don't see it all the time. If you go, look, I want waterfront property in Utah, you just don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is one of those unique situations. So you could have your own dock, and the lake's big enough that they've got a place to put your boat in, and there's some great fishing on there, and it's only 2 hours away. And so if you're looking for a secondary property, no, not too far, and they've decked it out, granite countertops, that really nice roof they put on this thing. I mean, it's a good little property.
Yeah, it's beautiful on the inside. They've trimmed it out really, really nice.
Yeah, and they put a bunch of cool things in there. They've got a ping pong table and a bumper pool and foosball and pinball and all these different things. So when you bring the kids out there, you can turn them off of all the electronics and you can get back to the way things used to be.
Yeah.
You can take them fishing, you can take them out on the lake, you can play games at night, and that's the way this house is. Or this, it could be a permanent residence, but these particular people use it as more kind of like a cabin property.
Yeah, well, I was noticing that loft up there in that main room. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's 4,500 square feet. They've got 8 bedrooms. Yeah, 4 full baths, and it's on almost 16 and a half acres.
So you could have a lot of families staying there with 8 bedrooms.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could get the whole family reunion out there if you wanted.
Yeah, and some people will take stuff like this and they'll set them up as timeshares.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that done before?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and so you could actually rent it out, and even the state does stuff like this where they'll get these little cabins, put them on there, and rent them out. People go use them for the weekend. But that kind of shows that bonus space. That kind of nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, up there above. Nice and open. Boy, it accommodated a lot of people.
Yeah, perfect for a little family getaway, huh?
Mm-hmm. Send the kids upstairs, and then you can get away and go out yourself and do a little fishing, and
yeah,
it'd be fantastic.
But you're far enough away, but you're still close enough that 2 hours away from Salt Lake City is not far at all.
Yeah, it's still accessible. That's right.
And they plan on leaving all those games in there. They said they've moved away, and they just don't need to take those things with them. So those are going to be kind of considered part of the property. You can see it's put together quite well.
Yeah.
It's most properties when you go out into these areas are not, fancy, and this happens to be one of those really nice properties.
Yeah, that's right. It has really good-looking trim on the inside, even though it's kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
It's a really cool combination.
This would be great for a family. You want to get away from it all. You want to go spend the weekend, and take your whole family and be able to, have you pull your boat right up to your house.
That'd be great. No docking fees.
Yeah. You can go fishing or whatever. That's what you get there for just under $600,000 out in Bluebell. Okay, Darren, for this one, I figure we go look at something different, something we've never looked at before. We're going to head down to Mount Pleasant. We're going to look at some farmland.
Beautiful. Love Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, beautiful sprawling mountains. This particular property is 3,200 square feet with 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths. It was built in 2007 and it's on 6 acres. And they have an additional 18 acres that they could, if you want more acreage, you can. We can put that together too.
So it's a newer home on large acreage. That's nice.
Yeah, and they've got a kind of a cabin style, which is really nice and very fitting for that area.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some, obviously doing some farming as well. Headed into the inside, you're going to notice, look at that big vault. You see how that spans across and makes that big, huge room?
Yes.
Very unique. You don't see this normally in construction and residential. It's mostly done in commercial style buildings. But they have to usually put a steel header across that whole thing to be able to span that roof into a big open room like that.
Yeah, boy, it sure opens it up.
Yeah, and they did that nice wood paneling on the wall. Headed here into the kitchen, one of the real highlights of this property, of course, is this kitchen. As you're going to say, they have a huge stove, and their cabinets are just absolutely beautiful and really tie into this property.
Yes. Love those ranges. I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah, that must be like a 12-burner stove.
Yeah.
I mean, it's serious. It's massive. I was really surprised how big it was.
It's a lot of pancakes.
Yeah, look at, you can see all the knobs on there. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge. Okay, headed into the master bedroom. You can see they've got it situated just the way it should be. Very woodsy, and just very quaint.
Yeah, nice home feel.
Yeah. They've got decks off of both the front of the house, so you've got a little porch off the front and off the back of the house, and a deck off the back, so you get to take advantage of those views.
Yeah, nice.
The cellar does some really nice wood and steel work, and you can see that they've added that in here into their railing.
Yeah.
Kind of nice, kind of ties it in, very homey. Now, what we were just looking at before was the upstairs, and this would be considered kind of this would normally be like a basement, but they've got this situated on the main level, so it's still got all the light and everything, and it's got plenty of room if you wanted to add on, if you wanted to add more bedrooms or anything like that, plenty of room.
There's the deck you were talking about. Look at that view.
Look at that. Nothing out there but just beautiful. You're gonna have some crops and some views of the mountains, which are great. Headed off the front deck here, you're going to notice your 2-car garage is right off there, and then we're going to scroll over here and look at their barn. And I know, Darren, you got some farm animals, don't you?
I've got a few chickens, right?
Yeah, so do I. I love chickens. I love these guys are situated though. They've got it. This is a real barn, and it's got a barn, it's got a workshop, and they've got a mother-in-law apartment, and this is where they lived when they were building the house. And so it's got the perfect kind of getaway. And then it's got the shop next to it, and so if you're into, woodworking or steel work or working on cars or anything, it's perfectly situated. They've got farms right out there for their animals, and plenty of land.
Even the outhouse.
Yeah, they got an outhouse. One of the things I really like about this property, well, it's not so much an outhouse, we should probably talk about this.
It's a smokehouse.
It's a smokehouse, yeah, it was never an outhouse. They've got all this land right across the street, like I said, another 18 acres. And one of the nice things, what I really like about this was that they're offering seller finance. And so if you wanted to get away from it all and you don't want to have to qualify for a loan, this very well might be your property.
Yeah, that's not very common.
Beener Marble and Granite has been locally owned and operated since 1960, providing all of your granite needs from high-end luxury all the way down to half-priced granite. Come on in, use our team, and let us transform your home with affordable, luxurious countertops here at Beener Marble and Half-Priced Granite.
Hard and no one likes to do it. It should be an adventure, and we here at Wasatch Moving Company make it one. We are that extra bit of help that everyone needs. Let us take the stress out of moving for you with our excellent and careful staff and our flat rate affordable pricing. Call Wasatch Moving Company today, the official movers of Real Estate Essentials with Jay Deere on ABC.
Jay Deere here. Do you want to sell your home faster and for more money? We do what other realtors do, but get this. Being ABC4 Utah's real estate specialist gives me the opportunity to give your home maximum exposure. List with the Jay Deere team and your home will be featured on its own TV commercial, as well as get a full motion video tour by my professional camera crew, with me personally talking about the selling features of your home linked to the multiple listing service. And with the power of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, it's automatically added to 40,000 websites and put onto the International Relocation Database. The Jay Deere marketing system sells houses faster and for more money. And don't forget about Jay Deere's perk package. Each seller gets a moving package from Wasatch Moving Company, a free year of DirecTV, and carpet cleaning. The best part of the whole thing is it doesn't cost anything more than a regular agent. If you want to sell your house faster and for more money, then list it with me and see it on TV. This week's featured property, we're in Highland, Utah, and we're in the Mercer Hollow subdivision.
So Darren, we're down here looking, this is what you're gonna get for $1.35 million down in Highland. Beautiful, right?
Fantastic property.
Yeah, one of the, of course, the nice things about this one, it has a big, huge, expansive yard that goes in, has no neighbors behind it, and so it just looks like it goes out forever. It doesn't even have a fence.
How big is the yard?
It's 0.88 acres, but they don't have neighbors on the back part of it, or on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side of the property, they've got a dry riverbed that just kind of flows through it. So,
wow.
I mean, it kind of sits in there just perfectly.
So you have almost an acre, but then no neighbors, so it feels even bigger than that.
That's right, yeah. And so this one goes forever. And they did a great landscaping job. But here's stepping into the inside. Of course, you notice that kitchen, they decked this thing out.
Yeah, what a great looking place.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They've done a lot with this one. Master bedroom's amazing. It's off the back of the house. And the master bath, we're gonna stay here, just beautiful. And they've got a swim spa. They've got an outbuilding outside. It's got a swim spa. We're gonna go look at that in a minute. Beautiful yard. I mean, in a really exclusive neighborhood up there in Highland. And so, but you know, on this one in particular, I wanted to talk about some financing options on this one because, of course, it's an incredible house, but people are always asking, what does it cost to finance $1 million home?
Yeah, that's right. I get asked that question all the time.
All the time, right?
Yeah.
Well, run me through a scenario if you're going to finance a $1 million home like this.
Okay, you bet. So a lot of times, people that buy homes in this price range will oftentimes purchase them in cash, or they'll look to do other things with that cash. And so they'll borrow.
So they might have the cash to pay cash for this thing.
That's right.
But they might prefer to finance it because they can keep that money liquid.
That's right. And when you, in a case like this, you may be able to borrow against your house, which might be cheaper money than borrowing for a business or liquidating other investments or things like that. So a lot of times people will look to do financing on the house even if they do have cash. So in a home like, in a home like this, you would want to look at putting maybe 30% down, which would be just over $400,000. And that would get you a loan amount at $945,000.
Right at that $1 million mark.
Yeah, pretty close to that mark. So at 4.5%, you'd get an APR of 4.61. That would put your principal and interest portion of your payment at $47.88 per month.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, yeah, that's not bad. So that gives you kind of an idea of what a home like this would cost on a monthly basis. You'd have taxes and insurance, of course, on top of that. But yeah, that could be very inexpensive money compared to other loans they could get.
Well, yeah. So if you wanted to go start a business with some of that money or whatever it is, instead of sinking into the house, you go keep yourself liquid that money. I mean, that money, that's very, very expensive to go get a business loan.
Right.
Much higher risk.
Yeah, or liquidating investments that you don't want to pull out, or all sorts of reasons why you may want to get financed.
Yeah, and where interest rates are right now, it's almost considered free money, right?
It's very inexpensive.
It's very inexpensive money, yeah.
Historically,
yes. And so it's a good way to go. Of course, the crown jewel of this property is this 1,247 square foot pool house where they put a Michael Phelps swim spa and a hot tub. They put a control for lighting and entertainment system in here, and they've left room for a ping pong table or even your workout equipment. And one of the things I really love about it is no matter what the weather's like here in Utah, you can just blow those big doors open and take advantage of that weather. And they've also put blinds in each one of the windows, so privacy is not an issue. So there you have it, incredible views, expansive space, and it's situated in a park-like setting that you can literally use year-round.